everyone, I'm Amir and you're watching the Stylist Amir channel. This is my daily life in Krasnodar, a city in the south of Russia. In this video you'll see beautiful blooming irises and roses, and along with many other cozy places, including an especially charming courtyard covered with wisteria. Later I'll cook a really delicious asparagus risotto. But first, breakfast. So, let's go! Today for breakfast I have two sandwiches, one with cream cheese and tomatoes and another with cream cheese and radishes. I also have some oatmeal, crispy vegetables, creamy cheese, warm oatmeal. Such a cozy start to the day. Let's go for a walk now! Look at this beautiful landscape. The sounds of the birds are completely real. Look at this oak clearing. At first glance it looks like ordinary grass, but these are actually hundreds of tiny oak trees that sprouted this spring from acorns fallen from these trees. Sometimes I think that calm walks are one of the few moments when we can truly hear ourselves. During the day there is always so much noise, phones, social media, news, endless thoughts about work, plans, responsibilities. Even when we rest, our minds often stay busy. But when you go for a quiet walk, especially somewhere surrounded by nature, something slowly changes. You begin to notice small details, the sound of birds, the movement of leaves in the wind, the sunlight through the trees, and little by little your thoughts become quieter too. I think this is why simple walks feel so healing. Not because something dramatic happens, but because for a moment life becomes slower and more real. Sometimes during walks we suddenly understand things that felt confusing before. Sometimes we remember old dreams. Sometimes we simply feel calmer. And maybe that's because when the world becomes quieter, we can finally hear our own thoughts clearly again. I believe everyone needs moments like this. Moments without rushing, without pressure. Just walking, breathing, looking around and feeling connected to the world again. Even a small walk can completely change the mood of the day. Look at this amazing view, isn't it gorgeous? These roses look absolutely stunning. I've noticed that nature has a very special way of slowing down our thoughts. Usually our minds move so fast. We think about the future, about problems, about things we still haven't done. Sometimes it feels like the brain never truly rests. But when you spend time in nature, even for a short while, everything begins to change little by little. You start paying attention to simple things instead of endless thoughts. The sound of birds somewhere far away, the wind moving through the trees, the smell of flowers after the rain, the sunlight on the grass, and suddenly your mind stops rushing. I think nature gently reminds us that not everything has to happen quickly. Trees grow slowly, flowers bloom in their own time, even seasons change gradually. Nature never hurries, but everything still happens exactly when it should. And maybe people are not meant to live in constant speed either. Sometimes we become so focused on productivity that we forget how important it is to simply exist peacefully for a moment. To walk without checking the phone every minute. To sit quietly somewhere. To breathe fresh air and notice the world around us. When I walk through places like this, I feel like my thoughts become soft and calmer. Problems that seemed huge begin to feel smaller, not because they disappear, but because the mind finally has space to rest. I also think nature helps us return to the present moment. So often we live either in memories or in worries about the future. But nature always exists right now. A flower blooms only in this moment. Birds sing only in this moment. The evening light lasts only a few minutes before changing again. And when we notice these things, we also return to the present. Maybe that's why even a quiet walk can feel deeply healing. Not because nature solves our problems, but because it helps us slow down enough to breathe, think clearly, and feel alive again. Sometimes that alone is already enough. I think one of the easiest ways to bring more joy into life is to pay attention to the changing seasons. The world around us is constantly changing, but because we are often busy, we don't always notice it. One day the trees are bare, and then suddenly tiny green leaves appear. A few weeks later, flowers begin to bloom. The air smells different. Birds become more active. The sunlight changes. These small signs tell us that a new season has arrived. When we start noticing these changes, even ordinary walks become more interesting. Every season has something special that exists only for a short time. In spring, there are blossoms, fresh greenery, and the feeling of new beginnings. Summer brings long days, warm evenings, and gardens full of color. Autumn gives us golden leaves, cool air, and beautiful sunsets. And winter has its own quiet beauty with frosty mornings and peaceful landscapes. If we don't pay attention, these moments can pass by almost unnoticed. Sometimes we spend so much time thinking about what comes next that we forget to enjoy what is happening right now. But nature teaches us something important. Nothing stays the same forever. Flowers bloom and later they fade. Leaves appear, change color, and fall. Each season comes and goes, making room for the next one. And because these moments are temporary, they become even more valuable. I think this is one reason why people love seeing the first flowers of spring or the bright colors of autumn. We know these things won't last forever. That makes them feel special. Paying attention to seasonal changes also helps us feel more connected to the place where we live. We begin to notice the same trees throughout the year. We watch gardens change month by month. We recognize which flowers bloom first and which arrive later. Over time, these small observations become part of our daily lives. And they remind us that beauty is not something rare or distant. Often it is right outside our door. All we need to do is slow down, look around, and notice it. Because every season tells its own story, and every year gives us a chance to experience that story once again. Now we've arrived at a cozy courtyard filled with wisteria. Let's spend a few moments walking around here. Do you like this place? Let me know in the comments. I've always wondered why small courtyards feel so cozy. There's something special about them that is difficult to explain. They are usually not large or famous. Most people pass by without paying much attention. And yet, when you step into a beautiful courtyard, the atmosphere changes immediately. Maybe it's because courtyards feel more personal. Wide streets and large squares are designed for everyone. They are busy places where people are constantly moving from one destination to another. But a courtyard feels different. It feels like a hidden corner of the world where life moves a little more slowly. When you walk into a cozy courtyard, you often notice details that would be easy to miss elsewhere. Flowers growing near a doorway, a bench under a tree, climbing plants covering a wall, a cat sleeping in the shade, a bicycle standing quietly near a gate. None of these things are extraordinary on their own way, but together they create a feeling that someone cares about this place. I think that is one reason why courtyards feel so welcoming. They often tell a story without using words. Every plant, every window, every old brick seems to hold a small piece of everyday life. You can imagine people living here, drinking their morning coffee, talking with neighbors, or simply enjoying a peaceful evening. A courtyard is not just a space, it is a place where life happens. Nature also plays an important role. Many cozy courtyards are filled with greenery. Trees soften the hard lines of buildings. Flowers add color, birds bring sound, and plants like wisteria create a feeling that nature and architecture are living together in harmony. Even in the middle of a city, a courtyard can feel like a small escape from the noise. And perhaps there is another reason why we love places like this. They remind us of something many people are looking for today, a sense of belonging, in a world that often feels fast and crowded. A quiet courtyard feels safe and familiar. It invites us to slow down, look around, and enjoy the simple beauty of everyday life. Maybe that's the real secret. A cozy courtyard doesn't need grand monuments or spectacular views. It only needs a little beauty, a little nature, and a feeling that people have put care into the place. And somehow that is enough to make us feel at home even if we've never been there before. Perhaps happiness is not a destination waiting somewhere in the future. Perhaps it is a skill. The ability to notice the sunlight, the flowers, the birds, and all the small wonders that quietly surround us every day. The interesting thing is that these moments are often free and available to everyone. A gentle breeze, the scent of blooming flowers, the warmth of the sun on your face, or a peaceful walk through a beautiful place. Look at these beautiful white acacia blossoms. It's amazing how something so delicate can make an ordinary day feel special. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I think there is something truly special about an ordinary day. Not a holiday, not a big achievement, not a day filled with exciting events, just a normal day. The kind of days that many people might easily forget. For a long time, I believed that the most important moments in life would be the extraordinary ones. The moments we plan for, dream about, and look forward to for months or even years. And of course, those moments matter. But over time, I began to realize something else. Most of our lives are made up of ordinary days. A morning breakfast, a walk through familiar streets, a conversation with a friend, flowers blooming in a nearby garden, cooking dinner at home. These moments may seem small, but together they create the story of our lives. If we are always waiting for something bigger or more exciting, we risk missing the beauty of what is happening right now. An ordinary day often contains more happiness than we expect. The problem is that happiness doesn't always announce itself. It rarely arrives with fireworks or dramatic music. Instead, it appears quietly, in the warmth of a cup of tea, in the smell of fresh flowers, in the sound of birds singing something nearby, in the feeling of fresh air during a peaceful walk. These moments are easy to overlook because they seem so simple, but simplicity does not make them less valuable. In fact, I think the opposite is true. The most meaningful parts of life are often the ones we experience again and again. The places we return to, the people we care about, the routines that bring comfort and stability. When we learn to appreciate ordinary days, we stop treating life as something that will begin later. We stop waiting for a perfect moment, and we start living more fully in the present. Because one day, many of the moments that seem ordinary now may become precious memories. The walk you took today, the flowers you stopped to admire, the meal you prepared at home. Years later, the simple moments may be the ones you remember most fondly. That is why I believe ordinary days are not ordinary at all. They are the quiet foundation of a meaningful life. And when we learn to notice their value, even the simplest day can feel rich, beautiful, and complete. Pink rhododendrons always make me think of the beginning of summer. Everything feels alive, colorful, and full of possibility. Maybe that's why flowers can lift our mood so easily. They remind us that growth and renewal are always part of life. And these flowers don't compete with anyone. They don't try to be different or better. They simply bloom in their own time. Can you see the wood pigeon sitting on its nest? It's quite unusual to see something like this in a big city. Our walk is coming to an end. Now it's time to head back home. Now we're back home. Now let's cook an asparagus risotto. For this recipe you'll need rice, asparagus, coconut cream or regular cream, feta cheese, garlic, salt, black pepper, olive oil. These are all the ingredients we'll need, so let's get started. Oh, and one more thing. I don't use strict measurements for this recipe. Everyone can choose the proportion according to their own taste and the number of servings they want to make. The first step is to rinse the rice well in the cold water. Then cook the rice until it's al dente. Next, wash the asparagus thoroughly and peel the tough outer layer from the stalks. Now we need to wash and peel the asparagus. I think cooking teaches us something that is easy to forget in everyday life. Most good things take time. A delicious meal isn't ready in a second. A garden doesn't bloom overnight. Even the strongest trees grow slowly, year after year. We live in a world where everything seems to move faster and faster, but nature follows a different rhythm. Maybe that's why simple activities like cooking can feel so relaxing. They remind us that not everything needs to happen immediately. Sometimes the best results come from patience, care, and taking one small step at a time. Now let's prepare the garlic. Peel the cloves and chop them into small pieces. I think cooking can be a form of meditation. When you're preparing a meal, your attention naturally shifts to simple things. Washing vegetables, chopping ingredients, stirring a pan, following each step one by one. For a little while, all the worries and distractions of the day seem less important. You focus on what is happening right now. Maybe that's why cooking can feel so relaxing. It slows us down and brings us back to the present moment. And in the end, there's something very satisfying about creating a meal with your own hands and sharing it with the people you care about. Now we need to fry the garlic until it's fragrant. Now we need to cut the asparagus into small pieces. Sometimes happiness is not about doing something extraordinary. More often it comes from simple moments like this. A quiet day, a homemade meal, the sound of birds outside the window, or the feeling of creating something with your own hands. We often search for happiness somewhere far away, but perhaps it has been close to us all along. Next, add the asparagus to the pan and cook it together with garlic. Now let's cut the feta cheese into small cubes. It will add a creamy and salty flavor to the risotto. Now it's time to add the rice to the pan and mix everything together. Now let's add some salt and black pepper. Now let's open the coconut milk and add it to the pan. And finally, let's add the feta cheese. It will make the risotto even creamier and more flavorful. I think there is something magical about bringing simple ingredients together. On their own, rice, asparagus, garlic, and cheese are just ordinary foods. But when they come together with a little time and care, they become something completely different. Maybe life works the same way. Small moments, simple experiences, and everyday routines may not seem important on their own, but together they create something beautiful, our life. And that's it, the risotto is ready. I decorated it with a single cherry tomato. Now it's time to taste it. It's so tasty. This is so good. The feta cheese adds a pleasant salty taste, and the coconut milk makes the risotto wonderfully creamy and smooth. Look at this natural phenomenon. It's called heat lightning. I'm seeing it for the first time. Heat lightning is not a special type of lightning. It is actually the light from a distant thunderstorm that is too far away for us to hear the thunder. On warm summer evenings, you can sometimes see this silent flashes lightning up the horizon. It looks mysterious and beautiful, almost like nature's own light. Have you ever seen heat lightning like this? I'd love to hear your experience in the comments. And that's the end of our day today. It was such a peaceful day filled with beautiful nature, flowers, cozy places, and a delicious homemade meal. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to leave a comment. I would really love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for spending this day with me. See you in the next video. Bye!